to mention strikers. We have to enter into strikers because this morning I was telling you how Viktor Gyokeres remains an option for Arsenal in this summer transfer window, and today the message coming from those close to Manchester United is that they feel, despite calling on daily basis, despite maintaining all the contacts active for Viktor Gyokeres, they feel that the player is giving priority to Arsenal. Arsenal project, Champions League football, so Viktor Gyokeres is giving priority to Arsenal. My understanding is that Gyokeres didn't say, no, I'm not coming to Man United. So Viktor Gyokeres or his agents didn't inform Man United about rejecting the club, just giving priority to Arsenal as long as the Arsenal option is available on the table. So what happens? Arsenal are talking with Benjamin Sesko. Arsenal are talking with the agent of Benjamin Sesko. Arsenal are working on a deal with Red Bull Leipzig, still no official bid, but still talking to Red Bull Leipzig, so direct club-to-club contact 2 weeks ago and 1 week ago. Direct contact with the agent of the player, so Arsenal are working on Sesko, but it's still not a done deal with the club or with the agent, and for Benjamin Sesko, also, the situation is still open. Then, Viktor Gyokeres opening his doors to Arsenal. So, Gyokeres and Sesko remain the two main options. Let's see what Arsenal decide to do, but at the moment we can say that Gyokeres is waiting to understand what happens at Arsenal before committing his future with any other club, because there was interest from Saudi, there was this call from Manchester United on daily basis, as I told you, to be informed on the situation of Viktor Gyokeres. So for sure, Man United keep looking for a striker, and Man United remain interested in the Viktor Gyokeres situation, but now they feel the deal is difficult because the player is giving priority to Arsenal. But as of tonight, still not killing the story between Gyokeres and United, just saying that Gyokeres is giving priority to Arsenal. Then we will be following this story, because for sure will be one of the interesting ones to follow in the next days, waiting first of all to understand how this war between the agents of Gyokeres and the Sporting, I've been explaining you why in the past few videos here on YouTube. But let's see how this war will go, because the agent insists on 65 million euros exit pact for Viktor Gyokeres this summer, while Sporting want more, around 80 million euros for Gyokeres. So the pricing will be an important part of the story to understand if Arsenal will go for Gyokeres or for Benjamin Sesko. And then, guys, it's also important to mention two more stories. One is Hugo Ekitike, because Manchester United had contact with the agents of Hugo Ekitike. My understanding is the following. For Ekitike, call from Chelsea. Chelsea called Eintracht last week, not this week 0 contacts. Last week, a contact between the agents and Chelsea, asking Eintracht how much they wanted for Hugo Ekitike. The answer was 100 million euros, and that's something that Chelsea, as of today, then tomorrow I don't know, but today Chelsea are not willing to pay. So Chelsea remain interested in Ekitike, but only if the price changes during the transfer window. That was about Chelsea. Liverpool are interested in Ekitike, are a solution for the player in case they find a solution for Darwin Núñez, but my understanding is for Darwin Núñez to leave, for Darwin Núñez to go, with Napoli interested, clubs from Spain, clubs from Saudi. So Darwin Núñez is going, and so we have to consider also Liverpool for Ekitike, but also in this case will depend on the price, because Liverpool already spent important money on the market. And then Manchester United called in the last 2-3 days to be informed of the situation, to speak with the agents, because they are looking for a striker, we know, and so Man United made a call to be informed on the Ekitike situation. So Chelsea called, but the price is considered too high. Man United now informed. Don't forget Liverpool in this story. So let's see what happens with Hugo Ekitike, for sure an interesting topic in this summer transfer window. To close today's video,
so that Cunha signed for Manchester United for 63, then they hang on a minute. If Cunha is worth 63 and Mbeumo is at least worth the same, if not slightly more, considering how many goals, considering he scored more goals than Cunha, is younger than Cunha. So this is why the two clubs haven't agreed yet anything. But if you're Mbeumo now, you know that Thomas Frank is going to try to hijack that. We know already, there's been talks already between Tottenham and Brentford over Mbeumo, between Frank and Mbeumo too, about the possibility of taking him to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. So if it's on paper for Bryan, the two offers, I would suspect similar wages, and the two clubs agree fees, he will have to choose. Surely he will go for Champions League football. There's a point where I agree with Nathan, at some point United will get back to being better than Spurs year after year, like they used to, no problem. But we don't know when. And for now, Champions League, which is a massive pull for any player, anybody. Bryan Mbeumo has never played Champions League football. When he was in the French second division, he never thought he would play Champions League football. Now he's got the chance of playing Champions League football with a manager that has made him the player that he is now. there's no doubt for me they would choose Spurs over United.
Players that where the player has said yes to us and then negotiate with the club. It's very, very clear from this that we've not been told yes by Gyokeres, have we? We clearly haven't. If he's like saying, look, back off, I want Arsenal, I'll speak to you if Arsenal say no. I don't even know if I want him anymore. You know? I do, but it makes me so angry where we are as a football club. I immediately started thinking about last season, the Europa League final, and how bad we are as a football club, that we're now hoping Arsenal choose Sesko so he maybe chooses us. We can't do the deal. We can't do the deal, can we? We literally can't do the deal now. Like, we're sloppy seconds. We can't. Arsenal fans will just laugh at us. We can't do this deal now. We can't do it. Let's be logical. We can't do this deal. If he wants Arsenal, we can't do the deal. And clearly that's what he does. So you just question what United have been doing for 2 weeks. Have we just spiraled out of control because we didn't get Delap? Look, when you follow the credibility, we wanted Delap. He was our number one priority. He went to Chelsea. We've now gone to Gyokeres, who has said, I want Arsenal. So that's 2 down. Where do we go next? Ekitike at 100 million euros. We'll talk about that next. But you know what? The truth will come out in the fullness of time. But it feels like we didn't get Delap, and we've desperately moved to Gyokeres, and he said, no, I still want Arsenal. So we're sort of desperately flapping around. But we're in a... Look, this is something we've got to be very wary of. We're not in a position of strength. We're really not. We're Manchester United, but we're not in a position of strength. We're desperate. We're desperately trying to rebuild this football club, and you need to try and get players. And I'm not going to criticise the club for knocking on the door of Gyokeres and Sporting, but it feels a little bit like we've knocked on the door and not really, thought it through.
Man United